Hi, it's Granny Annie here. I'm going to tell you a story about Pete and his 4 groovy buttons. It's a story by Eric Litwin. I guess I said that right. That's the author. But the person who created Pete the Cat is James Dean, and he's the one who draws all the pictures. All the Pete the Cat books are really fun books. And if you don't have any of them, you should get some because they're really great books. So this is about Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. But we're not only going to read the story, we're going to sing the song, and we're going to play with buttons. So it's a song, a story, and an activity all in one. Okay, here we go. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, groovy buttons. And then he loved his shirt so much, he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. But then something funny's going to happen. Pop! Oh, no! What happened to the buttons? One of the buttons popped off. How many buttons are left? There's only 3 buttons left. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. 3 buttons. Do you think Pete was upset about his buttons? Did he cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He just kept singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. But then something's going to happen. I bet you know what. Pop! Oh, no! How many buttons are left? There's only 2. 1, 2. One of the buttons popped off. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He just kept singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. But then something's going to happen. Oh, no. Pop! Oh, no. How many buttons are left? 1. 1 groovy button. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing a song. Sing with me. My buttons, my 1 groovy button. My 1 groovy button. But what's going to happen? Pop! Oh, no. How many buttons are left? I don't think he has any buttons. He looked down at his shirt and he didn't have any buttons left. He had 0. That means none. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He looked down at his buttonless shirt and guess what he saw? His belly button. Oh, that's funny. And he kept on singing his song. My button, I still have my belly button. My button, I still have my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We don't cry about silly stuff. That's a fun story. But I thought it would be really fun for us to make a button bracelet. Look at this. I started to make one, but we can make another one with some 4 groovy buttons. Let's see. Here's a big red groovy button. Look at that. And this goes right through the hole. Isn't that fun? And look at this. Here's a yellow. Oh, and here's a blue groovy button. Can you see this one? Sparkly. Whoa, isn't that pretty? Okay, here we go. We're going to put this one in. Okay, and then we're going to do one more button. Let's see. Oh, no, we got to do 4 buttons. That's only 2 buttons. All right, here we go. We're going to do another one. Okay, that's a big green one. Okay, now we got to do one more button. Let's see, which button should we do? I want to do a yellow one. Look at this. It's a yellow one. So I'm going to put this one in here. Okay, here we go. Oh, isn't that fun? It's got 4 groovy buttons on it. And you could play. I even cut some of these pipe cleaners here, so you could play in here and push them through the buttons. But be sure and watch out for buttons if you have a baby that would put them in their mouth, because buttons could be a choking hazard, and we don't want any babies hurt. So I'm going to put this around my wrist to wear. I'm going to wear it around, and I'm going to sing the song as I play. Here we go. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. But you can put 5 buttons or 6 buttons or 7 buttons. So you have fun today, and have fun with your buttons, your colorful buttons. Woo! Bye.